Throughout history, there have been women whose beauty and charm mask their darker, more dangerous sides. These aren't your ordinary criminals. They've captivated, manipulated, and terrified the world. From masterminding high-stakes crimes to orchestrating elaborate deceptions, their stories are as chilling as they are fascinating. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the lives of 10 dangerous yet irresistibly charismatic female criminals. Stick around until the end for one of the most shocking stories of them all. While society often associates crime with brutality, some criminals have used charm and cunning as their greatest weapons. These women shattered stereotypes and left an indelible mark on history, but not for the reasons you'd expect. Let's get started. Bonnie Parker. You've heard of Bonnie and Clyde, but what made Bonnie Parker so unforgettable? A petite Texas native with a love for poetry, Bonnie seemed destined for a quiet life. That changed when she met Clyde Barrow. The duo became America's most infamous crime couple during the Great Depression, committing robberies and murders across several states. Bonnie's charm played a pivotal role in their escapades. She disarmed strangers with her smile, luring victims and distracting law enforcement. Despite her small stature, she was a fierce accomplice in Clyde's reign of terror. Their romance ended in a hail of bullets, but Bonnie's story remains the stuff of legend. Griselda Blanco. Dubbed the Black Widow and the godmother of cocaine, Griselda Blanco rose to infamy as one of the most ruthless drug lords in history. Operating during the 1970s and 1980s, she built a multi-billion-dollar empire in the cocaine trade, with connections stretching from Colombia to Miami. But what set Griselda apart wasn't just her cruelty, it was her ability to stay one step ahead of her enemies while maintaining an air of invincibility. Her glamorous lifestyle and cunning strategies made her both admired and feared. She orchestrated murders with precision, even reportedly inventing drive-by shootings on motorcycles. Despite her power, Griselda met her end in 2012 when she was assassinated in Colombia. Elizabeth Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory isn't just a criminal, she's the stuff of nightmares. Known as the Blood Countess, this Hungarian noblewoman of the late 1500s was accused of torturing and murdering hundreds of young women. With her wealth and social status, Bathory charmed those around her, deflecting suspicion for years. Her alleged crimes were monstrous. Rumors suggested she believed bathing in the blood of her victims would keep her youthful. Though her guilt remains a topic of historical debate, she was ultimately sentenced to house arrest, where she died in 1614. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos' story is both tragic and terrifying. A sex worker in Florida during the late 1980s, Aileen murdered 7 men, claiming they had assaulted her. Her case became one of the most infamous in U.S. history, partly due to her gripping court appearances and raw, emotional outbursts. Aileen's troubled upbringing and desperate circumstances make her a complex figure. Her charisma drew attention from media and filmmakers alike, inspiring the film Monster. But beneath her troubled exterior was a dangerous woman who struck fear into those she encountered. Mata Hari. Mata Hari, born Margaretha Zell, was a Dutch exotic dancer who captivated audiences across Europe in the early 1900s. Her beauty and mystique earned her a place among the elite, but she wasn't just a performer, she was also a spy. During World War I, Mata Hari was accused of working as a double agent, leaking secrets to both the French and the Germans. Her seductive persona allowed her to infiltrate powerful circles, but it ultimately led to her downfall. In 1917, she was executed by a French firing squad, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in intrigue. Samantha Lithwaite. Known as the White Widow, Samantha Lithwaite went from being a seemingly ordinary British woman to one of the most wanted terrorists in the world. After her husband carried out the 2005 London bombings, Samantha vanished, re-emerging as a key figure in global terror networks. Intelligent and resourceful, Samantha allegedly orchestrated attacks across Africa and the Middle East. Her ability to blend into different cultures and avoid capture for years showcased her deadly ingenuity. Despite numerous reports of her death, her whereabouts remain uncertain, adding to her legend. Mary Blandy. In 18th century England, Mary Blandy shocked society by poisoning her father with arsenic. The motive? Her love for a man who promised her marriage but wanted her inheritance. Mary's intelligence and charm allowed her to weave an intricate web of deception, convincing many of her innocence. Her trial became a public spectacle, and her calm demeanor on the gallows only added to her mystique. Though her crime was straightforward, her calculated approach made her one of history's most fascinating female criminals. Delphine LaLaurie. Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite in 19th-century New Orleans, was admired for her elegance and hospitality until the dark secrets of her mansion were uncovered. LaLaurie's house became infamous after a fire revealed the horrifying abuse she inflicted on enslaved individuals. The public was horrified by the extent of her cruelty, and she fled to France to escape justice. Despite her heinous acts, LaLaurie's charm and high status shielded her from suspicion for years. Her mansion remains one of New Orleans' most haunted landmarks. Qing Shi. A Chinese pirate queen in the early 19th century, Qing Shi commanded a fleet of over 1,800 ships and tens of thousands of pirates. Her beauty and cunning allowed her to rise to power, but it was her leadership and ruthless tactics that solidified her dominance. Qing Shi established a strict code of conduct, enforcing discipline and loyalty among her crew. She successfully defied the Chinese Navy and European forces, eventually negotiating a peaceful retirement. Qing Shi's story is a testament to her brilliance and ferocity. Belle Gunnes. Belle Gunnes, also known as the Black Widow of La Porte, was an immigrant from Norway who built her fortune by murdering her suitors and collecting their insurance money. Operating in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Belle lured victims to her Indiana farm with promises of marriage. Once there, she poisoned or bludgeoned them, disposing of their bodies in her pigpen. Her ability to present herself as a kind, trustworthy woman made her one of the most chilling figures in American history. These women used their charm, intelligence, and cunning to commit crimes that shocked the world. They remind us that danger doesn't always come with a scowl, it can also wear a smile. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more intriguing stories. Who knows what other chilling tales we'll uncover next? Thanks for watching.